All right, here we go, back out on the radiator grill. The last video I was talking about the rust reformer having two different types of product. Well, this one has the ball in it. So I'm going to be taking this can that sprays the black paint, and I'm going to paint the entire back side of this grill. So this way now it will have two layers of rust reformer on it to get any of the spaces that I may have missed. Now what's going to happen is I'll have to let it sit again for another 24 hours to allow this coating to cure. And once that's done, then we can get into painting all the other colors. So stand by. You see what it looks like now. I'll show you what this rust reformer black tinted paint looks like, and we'll get this taken care of. So stand by. All right, and we are back. As you can see, it's all complete. I had 3/4 of a can left. I just sprayed the entire can over the entire area. It had been sprayed before. This is just sort of a second layer. And this is the part of the black that I want to have for the interior. I'll have to let this sit for 24 hours, of course. And then I'll come up here. I'll paint the entire faceplate red. And I'll take some paper and some tape and cover these sides so they don't get paint in them or on them. And then last, I'll tape off everything except for from this part of the tongue down to this part of the tongue, and this will be where the gray is. I'm not sure if I'll tape out all the way around all of this or not. I'm not sure if that's how deep I want to get into it, but we'll make that decision when the time comes. But right now, this has to set for another 24 hours so the black rust reformer paint has a chance to dry, and then we'll tackle this front. But now I know I have to go inside and order some parts because the turn signal lamps, of course, were shot. So I'll have to order new screws, new lamps, new wires for that, and then new 3-prong plugs for the headlights. And, of course, then the chrome ring that goes over top of all of this. So let's go inside now, give us a chance to dry, see how little I can spend to get what I need, and move on to another day. So stand by for another clip, probably tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. My black rust reformer paint is dry. I took the rest of my frame and rail paint rattle can, spray painted the entire backside, and it has a nice satin finish. Some people would go ahead and use a high gloss paint to do this, but I like to go ahead and stay with the satin or even a flat black, because if in the end I decide I want to change it, I can always use that high quality 2X with the accelerator inside the can to spray over and give it a nice high gloss. So this is where I am at the moment. This is where I want to be. I'm undercover, and I'm keeping the metal as cool as possible to cut down on the runs. I found out that the hotter the metal is, the more the chance the paint is going to run. So keeping it colder, keeping it cooler, spraying the paint on, and then if I want to, I can lay it in the sun and let the sun bake it and cure it. So with that being said, I'm going to take my painter's tape, which I'm almost out of, so I need to go in the house and get another roll, I guess. And I'm also going to use all of this paper. All of this paper has come from all of the bits that I've ordered and have come in a box. This is all packing paper. So don't throw the packing paper away if you're going to be painting, because I have probably $20 or $30 worth of painter's paper available for me to use. Now, it doesn't have the tape already on like the professional stuff does, but this works for me. Again, I try to reuse as much as I can to save as much money as I can, because later on I have to fix things like this. So that's where the money's going to go. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this taped up and get on with the next step. Stand by. And we're back. Now you may have noticed I put a gray primer on here. I just figured it was a good thing to do, even though I have 2 coats of the other stuff on here, the rust reformer, I decided 2 coats of this primer would work out. I put 1 coat on, let it sit for 30 minutes, come outside, put another coat on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it on top of the Comet and let the sun bake that in and hopefully help it cure. So we'll see what happens. All right, it's on the hood of the car, and as I look at it, it seems to be bent on this side. I've never really looked at it from this angle before, but that's all right. That's okay with me. Again, this isn't going to be any kind of show car, but I am going to try to do the best job I can, again, with the materials that I have under the budget that I have. So go ahead and let this sit out here for, I'm going to give it an hour just to sit out here and bake. And then I'll put it in the shade, let it cool down before I go any farther. So stand by for that.